All right, 3, 2, 1. About 2 years ago, we had the idea of building a giant wreath to go in the center of this chimney, and we finally made it happen. Last year, we did a Christmas tree build, and it came out pretty well, but we wanted to go with our original idea, so we started looking up how much would it cost for one. It's about $1,400. At the end, when it was all said and done, we were able to do this one for about $200, so it was much cheaper, and it was a lot of fun to build. So if you're interested in this type of build stuff, this will give you a sped up rundown of how we did it. Traced out the rough path I was going to take with the jigsaw, cut it out with the jigsaw. This, you got to really just take your time because I'm cutting through both sheets at once. There's 3/4 inch plywood. Ended up cutting out pretty well. You just have to be cognizant of the sawhorses below it. But just take your time, follow the line. When it came time to figure out how to attach the two together, I knew I'd want something a little stronger than just attaching wood to wood. So I cut out these plates, drilled some holes for the screws to go through, and this is going to be the reinforcement that connects the two halves together. So I have the plate that I'm going to use to reinforce the connection between the two halves, and these 1.25 inch construction screws, but I'm going to have to add about a 1/2 inch piece of plywood on top of it so that when this comes down, it doesn't quite poke through. These are the two halves. I don't know if I can move that. There we go. You can see where the two halves come apart. So it's going to come through and stop just before. So hopefully that works out well. Probably also add some construction adhesive below this to make sure that this stays put. Because year in, year out, I'm going to be changing this out, taking it apart, storing it, and then the next year using it again. So wish me luck. So I think it'll work out. On to the fun stuff. This is where I get to do the magic of painting. I've actually grown to enjoy the process of spray paint. And then check out my skills, lacking thereof. All right, this is attaching these screws to the outside and inside of the diameter of the wreath. These are going to be used to run the lights back and forth in a zigzag pattern to give the illusion of it being round. And then it was up to the task of layering the whole thing with garland to give the illusion of this thing being completely covered just like a normal wreath. Take your time. We were attaching them with staples, and it worked out really well. I was actually surprised at how quickly I started working my way through this, and it came out with a pretty interesting pattern at the end. If you look at it right here, it's a good look. There's the other half. Then attach the two halves together with that plate, that backing plate. Held it really nicely, and now it's time to wrap. We wrapped it with lights. My wife made the bow, and we hung it up. If you like builds like these, we do builds like this every year. This wreath is probably going to go in for the next year as well, but I'm always doing new projects. So if this is the type of content that you like, stay tuned for next year.